This video is sponsored by Auhapwrd's Patreon page. For exclusive art breakdowns, longer uncut videos, wallpapers, and other awesome exclusive perks, please head to our Patreon and support the channel. Yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, in today's video, I have something special for you to show. Because I'm going to break down my latest work. It's going to be the Ducati Panigale V4r. Now, last time I make the bike is gonna be like the Dismosa DC. I think it's like around 6 months ago. My last project about the Ducati Dismosa DC, I think it's just, it looks kind of like a spoon. It's like, it looks so wide, and that's the thing about my old works. And now I kind of want to improve it and make it better. So this is the 2020 Ducati Panigale, by the way. If you compare this model to the 2018 one, the main difference is actually quite significant, especially on the fairing on the front side and then the back side. But if you compare the 2020 and 2021, 2 and 3, there's not really specific difference regarding on the livery and regarding on the front side, the fairing on the seat. But if you compare to the 2020, 2018, then there's going to be a lot of difference in there. So, right, I'm going to start to break it down right away. And as usual, if you want to see the full uncut art breakdown, head on to my Patreon for awesome other perks. So, there you go. This is the black version. I personally like the red one. Now, this is I think the 2020 version. There's a lot of type on this bike too, by the way, and people have been do a lot of works too on this bike, modifying it to the way they like it. So it's kind of hard to find a good reference on a stock bike. Even this one, I think it's gonna be like some modification on the front suspension, especially if you see on the back side, he already changed the original mono shock to the Auhapwrd one, which is, well, Auhapwrd. There's not really that much things going on in here. You're just basically gonna make the front side, the fairing, and then you just gonna need to make the tank for the gas tank, and then the last one is gonna be this part right here. Now that's for the whole body. The complicated part, I think, is gonna be when it comes to the engine, because well, if you wanna get it right, exact like the original model, you're gonna take a look on the inside, which makes you gonna need to open the manual guide and study every part of it. But since my goal is not to make it like the exact same thing from the one scale, I kind of want to make it my own way, so I'm gonna make it toys. So I kind of remove some of the part that I think is not gonna be fit in my model, because my wheelbase is gonna be shorter, because it's gonna be like mini on my power style. So it's gonna be quite short, but I'm gonna show you. First of all, let's open up Blender, and as usual, last time I'm still using the Blender 3.3. It's the best. I don't want to upgrade it, because sometimes upgrading is gonna make everything crash, and I gotta, every one of the linked files is gonna be like it's basically unlinked, and that's gonna be pain in the ass. I don't want that. The front side is just gonna be like this part right here. And then you're gonna cut a part around this page for the windshield, or like the visor. So what I do is I just make the rim first, the tires, and kind of just basically casually measuring the wheelbase, how long I'm gonna make it. So usually I want to make it start from really short, but if it's too short, I won't be able to fit this part right here. Hold on. If I make it this that short, I won't be able to fit this engine right here. So like cut it around here, I won't be able to fit that. So the general case is gonna be quite more than this, like this. Well, originally it's gonna be like around like this, but I cut it not like this. So that's gonna be like gonna be enough. Okay, so the next thing is gonna be making the front fairing, which is gonna be like this. Now, if it's not done, it's gonna be like a main what is it? Like a prototype, like this one, as you see right now. It really looks like, it kind of reminds me of the CBR 2250. It kind of looks similar to this bike. Like the 2020 model. Yeah, it kind of looks like this if it's not done yet. Kind of similar. But once you finish it, it's gonna be looks really different. It looks really nice. So yeah, this part right here is gonna be the one that makes it look distinguished from other bikes, because it's gonna like represent the Ducati design in here, and of course the front side for the headlamp, which you can see right here. There you go. So next part, let's just move on to the next part. I want to show you this part right here. Number 2, still the same. So the thing is that I always start making everything from really simple shape, like a really low poly version of it, and then just to see like how it's gonna look like later on. It's kind of how to see how it's gonna look like with the other part joined together. So just gonna make everything low poly as possible, and then from there start building everything up. For example, this one, I already make the fairing. Now, usually when I start modeling every car that I've made in the past, I always start with the cube and then shape it to the way I like it. But in this case, on a bike, I can't really do that because it's completely organic. So I gotta start everything not from cube, but instead I start everything from a plane like so. And then start shaping it while looking on the reference, like the way it shows, or like it's shown on the reference, like this. And then start shaping it manually, like this. So you can see the topology. This is going to be for the windshield later on. But it's still not done. Still need a lot of improvement, especially on the side right here, because you need to cut part on this too. So, number 5. I think it's good. Let's move on to this part right here. Now, the thing is going to be quite more complex, especially if you start putting more vertex or like vertices in there, and then the seat too, and the back side seat too. Still not done, but you can already see like how it's gonna look like later on. And from this part, I already know that, oh, I think the wheelbase is actually quite right, and I want to keep it that way. Or I sometimes just kind of adjust the wheel position on the overall cases of the bike itself, like this. It looks kind of janky, so I kind of want to make it look like that, because this side right here, later on is gonna be for the main engine. So there you go. Now, let's moving on to the next one. You know what? What's funny? I already set my Google search to English, by the way. But if I type, like for example, CPR 250, it's gonna give me a result in my country, Indonesia. And that's racist. How can you be racist? Because I'm Indonesian? Why? Did you just assume my nation? No, like seriously, I'm just making fun, dude. Like, it just kind of reminds me of things what is like going on in America. So, yeah, sorry, sorry. Now, the thing about modeling is that you need to wait to be able to read properly, but how the low poly version of your model is going to be translated later on once you put subdivision modifier. Like for example, this one right here, I can just like make it more curved as the original topology, like so, right? But if I do that and I put the subdivision modifier, it's going to look like that. But if you keep it this way and then you put the subdivision modifier, it's going to look like this. So it's always like comes to, you need to know what you're doing and then just kind of realize, is it the right words? I just like making it happen. So you know what you're doing in your head and then you just basically make it happen. But yeah, this is still not done. You need to make like crease later on, blah blah yada yada, you know, stuff. So boom, already put the subdivision. It looks like this. Kinda not bad. Doesn't look that bad, but that's why I think later on I still need to spend more time refining every one of these vertex or like vertices, because when you see on the right side right here, which is gonna be like burn your eyes, but it's really good to see the overall smoothness of your model. Look at this. Look at this dude. Do you like this? No! I hate that. That's why I need to fix it later on. So always just, make sure that every one of your model looks really smooth, man. It's just professional. We don't do it like that. We just do it professionally. Okay, so the number next, I think, let's just move on to number 17. Because every one of those parts on the back side, it's just really boring. It doesn't really have any different stuff. Damn, okay, so this stuff right here, it's gonna be more complicated because I start to put more stuff in there, but I think it's just too much. But look at this. On the front side, I already put like the disc brake and then the caliper. This guy using a Brembo as a caliper, so I gotta make the caliper to later on manually, and that's gonna take more time. Now the exhaust on this reference, because I kind of want to make it look stock, because it's not commission work anyway, so they keep it stock. But personally, though, I like to keep it modified. Like, I'm the type of guy who never ever use stock exhaust on any of my bikes, so it is what it is. But yeah, keep it out of stock, and I kind of want to make it stock. It's like as is shown on the references. So it looks like this. Not bad. And then this one is going to be for the front suspension. This one is going to be for the handlebar, and this one for the clamp. Not bad, not bad. And then the lag on the back side later on, and this one's going to be the chain. Now, if you want to make the chain, it's really simple. Basically, you just model it once like this, and then the next part is going to be just making it like follow the pad by using this right here. It's called the pad like this, or you can just use any curve and then basically use this curve right there, and then attach the axe to those nerve or like those pad, and it's gonna follow the pad really nicely. But one thing to keep in mind, you need to apply the scale and the rotation first, so it's not gonna be messed up later on. All right, so the next part I think is gonna be just like refining every part of this bike and then just giving it more engine, yada yada yada. There's nothing too special, so I'm just gonna skip it to the number 24. Now the number 24 is gonna be where it's all makes sense. It looks really decent and nice. Every shape is actually have their own detail, and the front side's already done. The wing light is gonna be done too. The engine on the inside, the footstep, and then the shift, and then the clutch, the brake, everything looks really decent and nice. This one is going to be for the back side on the back side brake, and of course you cannot forget making the master ram, or like master brake. Why is so hard to pronounce it? Master brake. Yeah, it's called master brake, like so. And the tube, this is like the part where most of riders actually like to look at. Yeah, it looks decent. And then this one is going to be the stabilizer, so it is what it is. And this one is going to be for the speedometer, like the dashboard. But I kind of want to make it small because I need to fit it inside of it properly and nicely. Now, the last part, but not something, is going to be where I put the decals, or like what you call shading. Now, there's a lot of livery reference for this bike. Like, for example, I used to want to make it look like this on the GP version. But the thing is that if you want to make it on the GP, there's certain things that I need to modify. For example, the seat. The seat, this one is not stock. It's fully customized, modified for GP need, or like stuff. Like so. Because I'm lazy, basically. Because I'm lazy, I didn't want to change and make a model again to change everything. So I just kind of want to keep it stock as for now. But maybe in the future, I'll try to make it GP. Or if someone want to commission me to their specific pattern, I just need to customize it to the way they like it. So I think that's all. Now, you know, the livery, I don't really make, it's not really complicated. I made this livery on Illustrator, on my Adobe Illustrator, and I just kind of refine it on Photoshop. So there's not really things going on. And all of my texture is actually just procedural. I just make it with the node wrangle right here, and just put everything on its own place. Even already make the caliper for the front disc brake, and then on the back side, and also the paddock. Now, I like this brand. It's called the Auhapwrd, so I kind of want to shout it out in my model, because it looks really good and matches the bike. Now, the original paddock is not, it doesn't look like this, but it looks like that. But one thing I want to talk about the paddock is actually lifting your bike to the paddock. It's actually quite hard. So getting the right paddock is actually going to help you to lift your bike easier, I think. It's just like my experience, but it is what it is. So I think that's all for today's episodes. If you want to see more, make sure to head on to my Patreon. There's a lot of awesome perks and stuff you can download in there, such as wallpaper every month, and then wireframe, exclusive stuff that I only share there, my vlogs, and other uncut art breakdown, and some of the, you know, there's actually a lot of art breakdown on my Patreon that I kind of make it private on YouTube, so only people on my Patreon can see it. So if you're up for that, please join my Patreon to support the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for joining. Stay awesome powered.